Hello, everybody. Philip Lee returning with another episode of Civil War Chat. To subscribe, click on the subscribe button in the lower right here, and then also on the notification bell in the far upper right. Today is Tuesday, the 26th of October, 2001. Before we get started, I wanted to show you my book, Trading with the Enemy, which is about the intersectional trade between the North and the South during the Civil War. If you have an affinity for Confederate memory, one reason you might enjoy reading this is that there aren't any heroes, so that the Northern historians don't like to write about it. They can't make their participants heroes, and for that reason alone, you might want to read it. And additionally, just to let you know, more than twice as much cotton during the Civil War went and traveled across the battle lines to the north than went through the maritime blockade to Europe. So that kind of shows you the magnitude of the intersectional trade during the war, which was, at best a gray market. So what my topic for today is it's called affirmative action and Confederate memory. In August, University of Chicago geophysicist Dorian Abbot penned a Newsweek Op-Ed opposing affirmative action and identifying the consequences that are often overlooked. Now, Abbot, of course, as I say, is a geophysicist, but he's just opining in Newsweek about affirmative action. Here's what he said. Viewed objectively, American universities are already incredibly diverse. They feature people from all countries, races, and ethnicities. This is in stark contrast with most universities in Europe, Asia, and South America. American universities are not diverse because of diversity, equity, and inclusion, but because they have been extremely competitive in attracting talent from all over the world. 90 years ago, Germany had the best universities. Then a race-obsessed regime came to power and drove many of the best scholars out, gutting the faculties and leading to a sustained decay that German universities never fully recovered from. Now, when Professor Phoebe Cohen at Williams College learned that Dr. Abbot had been also invited to speak in October to make a geophysics presentation for a prestigious lecture series at MIT, she complained. Now, she is a department head at the same college where President of Washington and Lee, Will Dudley, was also an officer. Now, even though Cohen currently has no connection to MIT, the New York Times amplified her complaint. Consequently, MIT rescinded Abbott's invitation after a resultant Times article disclosed that he had written the Newsweek Op-Ed opposing affirmative action. Nonetheless, it's interesting, the Times reporter did ask Dr. Cohen whether silencing Abbott was a better option than allowing affirmative action to be debated in the spirit of academic truth seeking. Well, Cohen responded with this. Well, this idea of intellectual debate and rigor as the pinnacle of intellectualism comes from a world in which the white man dominates, close quote. Now, I guess without realizing it, what she is asserting is that minorities and women do not have the intellectual capacity to compete on a level playing field in academia, where you are, in the intellectual exercise of determining the truth. She's admitting tacitly that they can't compete with white males. Now, no doubt many successful women outside of the world of feminism disagree with her, as I do. Women can compete, but what we're really seeing here from Dr. Cohen at Williams College, where I just can't resist saying it a second at a time, President Will Dudley of Washington and Lee, who wants to take the name of Lee out of the school, also was an officer. Well, she wants to silence somebody who's not even speaking about affirmative action, but is speaking about geophysics at MIT, which is one of the premier technological institutions or scientific institutions in the world. And she gets away with it. What it shows is that we're in a culture that is totalitarian, and it is it's resulting partly from a unified front from critical race theorists who see the world as composed of two factions: one, the oppressors, and two, the victims. And in terms of race, they see themselves as the victims and the whites as the oppressors. Well, feminists like Cohen at Williams College see the world the same way. It's a battle between oppressors and victims, but in the feminist world, the oppressor is the male and the victim is the woman. By unifying their influence, they have already taken control of the academy, and they want to take control of American society. That's part of the objective in unifying their efforts. That would be the critical race theorist and the feminist, who at this stage are really just misandrists. So this is one of the consequences of this kind of a trend, is that Confederate statues and in any kind of Confederate memorial, whether it's the name of Lee in Washington and Lee University or something else, it cannot withstand any further strength in this unification of critical race theory and feminism to provide a totalitarian dictatorship of what our thoughts are going to be and what we are going to be permitted to say. Right now in the public, there's a comment that I think I heard recently that makes a lot of sense. At college, it appears like, you go to college to gain knowledge, but you don't necessarily gain wisdom. And so the many commoners have wisdom. They may not have the knowledge of a college professor, but the difference between knowledge and wisdom is this: it is one that is knowledgeable knows that a tomato is a fruit, but one who has wisdom knows you don't cut it up and put it in a fruit salad. So that's what I have to say about Confederate memorials today and affirmative actions. Thank you for watching.